Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of ChumChat. You already know who it is. It's my brother. But I'm your host, Johan Gomez. This is my co-host, Tanner Tessman. And we're here with a very special surprise episode. As y'all know, today the announcement has come out that my brother, Jogo, has moved to Real Sociedad. He's still at Lou City, but the move is finalized. And before we get into this episode, I want to run a quick ad with y'all real quick. BET Online. Shout out to our sponsor, BET Online. As y'all know, the Cowboys won yesterday. It's good to bet on them now. I think they're gonna be winning the Super Bowl. I think this year probably. So don't forget to use our promo code Believe to get your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV for 50% off. And shout out BET Online. Now let's get into the video. Jogo, we talk every day, but come on, bro. How are you?
I'm good. Obviously, I'm super excited, and I'm glad I could do this interview with you guys. And thank you guys for having me on.
Professional answer, huh?
Yes, Zersky. Very professional. Very professional. So where should we start? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from FC Dallas. So Dante, actually, one of our previous guests, had a question for you, and but you weren't on the call. He asked me, and he said, "Yo, why didn't your brother sign with FC Dallas? Like, did FC Dallas offer him a homegrown deal? Like, what's up with that? Did they offer you one or what?"
So they didn't. There was a North Texas deal offered back when I was 15, so back in 2019, summer of 2019. A North Texas deal was offered, and we went back and forth, but there was no like clear development path into the first team. And I'm sure you guys kind of experienced this too. Like one day you'd be training like with the 19s, the next day you could train with like the second team, the first team. And it was just like, I wouldn't say like disorganized. Like it was good to train with like the first team, second team. But like I said, there was just no like development plan. It was just kind of confusing as a player because you had to learn like different systems and know how to play with all the different teams.
Yeah. That North Texas contract really locks you down too. Back then you couldn't go you sign, can't go to college. Options are looking slim. I did the same thing, rejected it. Smart move.
But would you have considered a homegrown deal from FC Dallas like in that moment?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it was back in summer of 2019. So I was 15, about to turn 16. And actually recently, this past July, like Lucci and staff reached out again, but I had already committed to Real Sociedad. So I had to honor my word.
Oh, they offered you a homegrown contract.
I wouldn't say they officially offered me a homegrown contract, but I spoke with Lucci and I spoke with Mikey, and Mikey said they were interested in renegotiating with me, which they never negotiated me like a homegrown deal in the first place. But yeah, we spoke about it back in July of this year.
Interesting.
And so if you hadn't committed yet, do you think that would have been an option, or were you pretty set on going to Europe already?
I came here like to go to Europe. If not, I would have like taken the North Texas deal. So I think like I wouldn't have just automatically rejected it. Like I think it would have been a possibility, but it would have been like a smaller possibility than obviously back in 2019.
So obviously you think you made the right decision going to Louisville, but just talk about how Louisville's developed you. Like obviously you have a good relationship with the coach, and but like just the atmosphere being there, a top team in the championship, like you really think that steps help you develop a lot to make the jump to Europe?
Yeah, for sure. I think that like last year, I wasn't playing as much, but still like being around such a good like culture, a bunch of experienced players, as well as a good mix of younger players. I think it was good to be in like a first team environment, see what that was like. And obviously, like you said, the coach, I was with John Hackworth last year and part of this year, and he's good with young players. Obviously, he was a U17 U.S. national team coach for a while. And now with Danny, he's a young coach, but knows how to deal with young players, and he's done well with the team. So I think just all that has helped me develop and got me ready for the next step.
what was obviously you've been treated a little bit like the golden boy of Lou City, especially this year. Like it's no secret. Now you started like a little bit of your roots down in Lou City for this year. What do you think you'll miss the most about Lou City like this next year?
I think like the easy answer is just to say that I'm gonna miss everything. But I think specifically I'm gonna miss the fans. The fans are really good here. Um, my teammates, my coaches, the friends that I've made along the way. Um, but I think like something that a lot of people don't know is just the culture that we have in the locker room. Like I think we have a really good like team culture in the locker room. And obviously I don't know how it's gonna be over at Sociedad, but I think either way I'm gonna miss that a lot.
That's facts though. Cause like the locker room be like different in the US, I feel like. I don't know, John, how you can compare, but like FC Dallas is just I don't know, FC Dallas is different too because there's a lot of homegrowns and everybody has a different kind of relationship. But the bond we had at FC Dallas was just different compared to here, bro.
Yeah, I can feel that.
You
I
think it's like
definitely can
because
feel
you
that.
guys don't all speak the same language though?
I mean, I feel like 90% of our players speak English, so it's like I don't really think there's like that big of a barrier, but it's just like I don't know, like in Dallas, everybody's known each other for so long, and we're all like in the same boat. That's the biggest thing to me is like everybody has the same like besides like maybe 5 players, 6 players, everybody wants to take the next step. Like you have your Matt Hedges, you have your Ryan Hollingsheads, you have your Jimmy Mowers who are there to stay and look for a next contract with FC Dallas. But then you have all these young guys they're just trying to make the next step, trying to get minutes and trying to leave. Whereas here it's like you have players that are playing their first year in Serie A and they're just a lot of them are just glad to be in the moment, but we have a few young guys that are trying to, take the next step, like me, Buscio, coming in from the US, trying to take the next step, jump to the next team. But I mean, there's a lot of guys here that are content with a year in Serie A and see what happens. But I don't know.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. It was kind of that way at Porto too because most of those guys have grown up with each other and like I don't know. Sometimes it felt like some players were just okay being there. You know what I mean? Like they were just okay playing for Porto B. You know, and so I kind of understand what you mean. But anyway,
which is fine.
I guess
though.
you'll see that when you. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Where it's nothing. But everyone's different. Like you said. Like everyone's different. And at FC Dallas, everyone's more of the same in that sense.
Yeah.
But Jogo, you've been on social media like with the rumors and stuff. Have you seen like what's the craziest rumor that you've seen about yourself?
I saw one. This is not Real Sociedad related, but I saw someone on Twitter report that I had committed to the Mexican national team, and I was like reading through the comments, and I was like, "What is this about?" Like he said, like Jonathan Gomez has committed to the Mexican national team. It was like this verified account, and everybody underneath was like questioning it. And I just thought that was funny. That was probably the craziest rumor I've seen.
So let's hop into that real quick.
Yeah, have you committed or what's going on? Have you been in talks with anybody in either national team party or what's going
on? So I'll give the answer that probably no one wants to hear, which is that I'm not committed and I'm not leaning either way. But I've had talks with both federations. I was obviously named to the preliminary Gold Cup roster. So I spoke with Greg a little bit, but that was back in July, maybe. Spoke with him a couple times, and I've also spoke with Mexico and their coordinator. I went to train back in May for the Nations League. So that was a really cool experience getting to train with all those players and talk with Tata and all that.
Are you tired of the question?
Thanks.
I'm not tired at all, really. It's I think it's a good thing, really, to be sought out by both national teams, but at the same time, I have to do my job on the field so that I can play in either one of the senior teams. Because right now I'm mostly the U20s. So if I keep doing my job, then hopefully good things will come.
So you're not leaning towards either one?
No.
So U.S. calls you today, Mexico calls you tomorrow. They both want you for this international window. what are you saying?
Like tomorrow.
Yeah, like you got to make a decision tomorrow. You got to go with the U.S. team or the Mexico team, not even to play, not even to cap yourself, but just to be there with one team. Who are you going with?
Oh, I'm going with the U.S. because if it's not going to cap me, like I've already been with Mexico, seen what it's like, so I like to go with the U.S. and see what it's like before making a decision.
That's a good answer. But I think I think we both know if both of them were to be capped, I think you just not go in general.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Still a little soon to cap myself.
But most people don't know. They'll know in a couple of days. You got called to the U20s with Mexico, and you're headed to actually Spain in a couple of days. So there's actually a U20. So the situation that Tanner said might be coming up soon, but it's not with the senior team. But there's a U20 tournament where the Mexico and U.S. will be in November. So if they both call you, you've already been with both age groups there, so you don't have an excuse. Who are you going with?
I mean, I guess we'll see.
This is a lot of pressure, though. I want you to understand, because the team. So when you qualify for this U20 World Cup, you also qualify the U.S. or Mexico for the Olympics. There's no Olympic qualification. So, brother, if you're going with the U.S., I'm gonna need you to perform really well. All right.
Because the 2024 Olympics is what, 01 and younger or 00 and younger?
01 and younger,
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So your boy will still be eligible.
Yeah.
So you need to perform if you're with the U.S. Mexico, you can do what you want. U.S., you got to perform. All right, brother?
All right. Especially because y'all lost y'all's U20 World Cup.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you need to perform, brother. You, Dante, Pepe.
To be fair,
that's the only 03s I know. Che.
Have to choose because you'll be in playoffs, so I don't think they'll release you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, obviously, if both of them call me, like that would be great, and it's a great opportunity. But I don't think I'll be able to go because I'll be in the playoffs with Lou City.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the Real Sociedad stuff, which I guess people mostly
unless y'all choke.
I mean, it'd be really hard for us to choke at this point. Well, we're gonna clinch a playoff spot tomorrow.
Is that for sure?
If we
you writing that in paper? You writing that in paper?
Are you telling the fans to go on our betting website to bet and lock it in? Is that what you're saying?
BT Online,
we need to win.
Clinch a playoff spot.
We have to win, and then Indy and OKC. No, OKC has to lose or tie to Indy, so it's not just us winning.
It's also a bold statement.
That is a bold statement. You're basically saying that they're gonna win and Indy's gonna lose or tie or whatever they need to do.
No. OKC has to lose or tie. Either way, we can clinch on Sunday. With the win today and a win on Sunday, then we're good.
Yeah, y'all straight. No, but seriously, on a serious note, connecting kind of the dots from Lou City to Real Sociedad. Is it true that your transfer is $100K?
Nah, I honestly don't know. I don't know the exact numbers, but I don't think that's the number. My agent is our agent is the one that knows that stuff. And I honestly, it's being announced, but the last time I spoke with Danny about it, it wasn't finalized. So I wouldn't really know.
Okay, that's fair, and I think that'd be a bargain, but you never know. There's not much evidence of people going from USL to Europe, so I guess they wouldn't really know what to price you at. But so, when are you joining them? Actually, I don't even know. Isn't it November or something like that?
Yeah. So after
the season, right?
Another bold statement, but after we win the championship here, then I'll take some I'll take some time off. They told me to take as much time as I want with my family, so I'll probably go back to Dallas maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then head over to Spain probably the beginning of December around then.
Tanner, how are you feeling about these bold statements coming from Jogo right now?
I like the confidence, but we're gonna run it back on y'all choke first round. I'm just kidding. No, I wish y'all the best.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll probably be over there around like early to mid-December, and start training. I can't get registered until January, so I'll be over there, getting settled in and training with the team.
So you talked about a development plan with SCL, so it was sketchy. Do they have a plan for you when you get there to who to play with, training with? Do you know these things?
Yeah, so when I was able to go visit back in July, and well, we had already spoke with them over Zoom, and they told me that I would most likely start with their B team. So I went over there, and the coach of the B team is actually Xavi Alonso. So I was able to meet him and speak with him, ask him questions, all that. So I'll most likely start there, train with them, and then work my way up from there.
Nice. They got everything sorted in terms of like housing, everything. Do you know where you'll be staying, in a dorm or your own place, or what's it looking like?
So for the first 6 months, they call it like the acclimatation period. They're gonna have me staying at like this residency. It's not like a Real Sociedad residency. It's like some other type of residency, like kind of like a college. So it's kind of like a dorm. Like I saw exactly where I live. It's kind of like a dorm. So I'm gonna live there for the first 6 months, or like until the season's over. So from December until May or June, whenever I come home, and then whenever I come back for the 2022 season, so like in July or August, then I'm able to get my own place.
That's sick. So, bro, I know the story about how Sociedad reached out to you or to our family, but just tell them, because it's actually kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah, so they actually reached out to my dad through the Gomez Way blog, and then from there, like I'm not sure how much my dad spoke to them, but he ended up like handing them over to our agent, and then we had a Zoom call. It's probably back in like May, no, probably like April, and then we talked about an official visit, and it ended up happening at the beginning of July. And yeah, I think because of COVID, obviously like clubs have been scouting more online and virtually. So I think that helped a lot. And yeah.
That's pretty dope.
That is
Gomez
crazy.
way
That was
pulling
crazy
through,
what my
huh?
dad told me. Wow, honestly, that was crazy to me, because you'd been training with like so many other European teams. Like there was like rumors about other teams, and Sociedad came out of nowhere. And then when Dad told me that, I was like, that's crazy, absolutely crazy. But now let's move on to something else, just about you as a player. For the Sanse fans that might be watching now, what are your best qualities as a player? What can they expect from you moving into the B team of Sociedad?
So to begin with, I'm an offensive-minded fullback, but that doesn't mean I don't play defense. I think I balance it well, when to go forward and when to defend, but I think I do attack well. I keep a level head most of the time. I have a good first touch, and I think I'm a technical player. I strike the ball well, and I run a lot. Like I can run for days, which is a good quality to have as a fullback.
Yeah, why is Tanner laughing?
I'm not laughing, bro.
No, you can run, bro. You can run for days. That's my main
that's
thing. I don't know,
facts.
Tanner. What are his qualities? Because we both played with him. You probably played with him when North Texas more than I did, actually. So, like, would you agree with what he said? Because you clearly have an opinion, also.
Yeah, I mean, I play with Jogo in North Texas. I feel like he's just a really solid player. Like, there's a lot of players who have ups and downs, but Jogo is more like consistent. Like, you know what you're gonna get from him, and then you'll have games where he'll do really well, but there's never really games where it's he's playing bad or really bad. Obviously, everybody has their games, but I'm not so sure about the level headed from the Gomez's. But
Oh my,
So that's what you're laughing about.
just from the Gomez
bro.
family. I mean, I don't know about the level headedness of the family.
Can you remember a time where like I got mad?
can I remember a time,
Yeah.
brother? In a game, I don't know, because in a game, I mean, we played
That's
like
what I
half a
mean. That's
season
what I mean.
together, but that season is also with like, I don't know, with guys that are like, I don't know, we killed the season. Like, I don't know what, like, we never really had tough games, so there's never a time for you to get like mad. But I do remember a couple times with opponents where you you do some things, and then in training, I mean, for sure, I remember a million times where you yelling at somebody or kicking somebody, or I remember, yes.
I think
Okay, but
But that's just how y'all are, though. Like the aggressiveness is different, kind of. But I mean, I like it. I'm not saying it's bad, but
no,
maybe you've gotten
I definitely
better.
take ownership of that. I think he's gotten better. He's gotten better. But I actually do remember that year was kind of bad. But it was mostly I think you got it from me, and yeah. But I think playing with older players has gotten better because you can't yell at them older players because you know they're gonna
yeah,
kill you.
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying. Yeah.
Like I remember you guys didn't see me, but when I was with the 17s, like playing up with the O2s and y'all were 19s, that year, like at first, like I respected everybody. Like I didn't say anything to anyone, and I was just like quiet. But then like by the end of the year, I would yell at like everybody, and
Got in
and
some trouble for it, huh?
I think I got dismissed from training once because I kicked someone or something like that. Like when Matias took over, but that's just like because I was super competitive and like yeah, but
Yeah.
Be
No, it's
honest,
all
do you
good,
yell
but
at
it's
your
but
Lucity
yeah.
players like that now?
say it
Have you
again.
gotten to that point? Do you yell at your Lucity teammates like that?
Um, like I'll yell at them, but not like I've only gotten into it one time last year. I got into it like serious with one of my teammates, but that's it. Like I've only gotten into it with a player once this year and once last year. But other than that, like I don't like yell. I don't like really yell at anyone.
Well, let's move on to the success question. As you know, that's our whole motto here. So we like to define success. How do you define success, and do you think you've achieved it yet?
So I'll start with the second question. I think that I haven't achieved success, but I think that I was speaking with someone earlier and I was talking about it. And I think like success is really relative. Like success to a homeless person, for example, would be like getting food or like finding a place to stay. But like obviously for someone like us, that's not success at all. So I think just success would be like accomplishing your goals or like what you aim to accomplish. So like for example, playing in Champions League, playing in a World Cup, winning a World Cup. Like for us or someone like me, I think that's what um, would determine success.
That's a pretty good answer. Never
That's
heard
interesting.
homeless people brought into it. But that's a good. It was a
I
good
mean, that was just an example.
analogy. It was a good analogy. It was a good analogy. It was a good analogy. So, kind of leading up into that, though, what are your goals for this next year when you join Sanse? Because you were bold in saying Lou City, we're gonna win some championships, you know, this and that. You know, what are you gonna do with Sanse, and what are your plans there? Do you have a timeline for when you want to debut into the first team? Kind of that kind of stuff.
Mm, I don't think I necessarily have thought about my debut into the first team, but I do think that um, if I do well, like I could be pushed up quickly because you guys probably don't know this, but under the current first team coach, 12 players have debuted um, from I don't know if the academy or from the B team in the first team. And right now, actually, there's a few players from the B squad like consistently in the first team squads because they have some injuries. But to answer your question, I wanna get my spot in the second team, so be a starter with the second team. Um, so earn my place and get consistent minutes. And they play in the second division of Spain, so that's a pretty good level. So we definitely want to not get relegated and see how good we can do.
Yeah, I mean,
Facts.
it's different, bro. When you're moving to Europe, you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
relegation. Like Tanner knows, I know, um, and now you're gonna have to find out. Unfortunately, it's definitely a different level um, of
Yeah.
maybe urgency that you feel every game. Like every game matters. Like right now in the MLS or USL, you can just be like, oh, okay, we had a bad game, whatever. But Tanner now knows like literally every single minute counts. Bro, I watched changing the topic a little bit. I watched y'all's highlights yesterday, Tan. bro, I know y'all were tight on that last 1v1, bro. I know y'all were tight. Oh my goodness, bro.
Oh.
Jogo, these guys had a 1v1 last play of the game. No, the other team had a 1v1 last minute of the game to lose the game, bro. But the keeper saved it. That was crazy.
But let me explain. Our last home game, we played Spezia, who are a team that got promoted last year and stayed up. They were the only team that stayed up in the last 4 years that got promoted. They stayed up. They saved us up on the last day. We're playing Spezia at home. This is a game we should win, or we really were pushing to win. And they scored in the last minute, 95th minute banger, upper 90, killed us.
0?
We lost 2-1.
Oh.
This game, same thing pretty much. We come back to tie it. We're pushing, and then they get this breakaway. And we could see the play develop from off the corner. We could see it develop. And this guy gets the ball, and I've never heard the stadium so quiet. It was literally everyone just stomach dropped. We're just watching. And our keeper made the save. What a moment. Oh my goodness. That would have been so bad. Wow.
Bro. No, nothing's worse than the counterattack and the panic that sets in, bro. That's crazy. No,
but
just to wrap it
going
up,
back
Joe-
to your point, yeah.
Oh.
Just
Yeah.
how every game's so important, bro. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Every minute. That's why I feel like sometimes in Europe, some players are more reserved because they feel that pressure. You know what I mean? I don't know how it is with your team, but I feel like sometimes players can play they don't take risks because they're afraid of losing the ball and then getting scored on and then losing the game, and then it's just a whole little domino effect, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But just to wrap it up, Joe, how are you feeling about the move? Anything that you can say to the Sunset fans to get them hyped up for your arrival? Anything?
Yeah, I'm super excited about the move. I can't wait to get over there. Obviously, I have business to finish here, but as soon as I get over there, I'm gonna be ready to fight for the club and do my best.
And one last question. So, right now in this moment, what would you say is your how we say in Spanish, Club de Corazón, Luz City or FC Dallas? If
Right
you could
now,
come back and finish your career at one club, which would it be?
I think as of right now, it'd be Luz City. I think that just because of everything they gave me, the way they welcome me in, and they've been like a second family for me. And especially if Luz City one day moves into MLS, which I don't know if they will, but I think I definitely have to come back to Luz City.
That's
But
wild.
then you're giving the Luz City fans some hope now. So maybe y'all haven't seen
Some hot takes.
but hopefully y'all can have a good last moment together and win the championship. But anything else you want to say, Tim, before I wrap it up?
Nothing. It was a banger.
Yes, sir, Joe. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everyone for watching. Y'all definitely need to stay tuned to Jogo. What's your Instagram, Jogo?
_ Jonathan.Gomez.
Go check out his Instagram, his Twitter. He's got some good pics coming. I've seen him. Probably a lot of promo vids and stuff like that. So go check that out. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with everyone. And just one last time, Jogo. So you're not coming to Mexico or US yet on the pod?
Nah, still uncommitted. But
For part two, you'll come back.
Yeah,
and, you'll announce.
exactly. Whenever I come back on, I'll have an answer for you guys.
All right, it'll be like LeBron James when he joined Miami. It's gonna be like the decision.
In this fall, I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
But thank you so much for listening, guys. And make sure to, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Go check us out on Instagram at chum_chat or chum.chat. And as we always say, go find your own success.